Paul Tough, How Children Succeed, Grit, Curiosity, and the Hidden Power of Character. And How Children Succeed, Grit, Curiosity, and the Hidden Power of Character. Paul Tough unveils the powerful role that non-cognitive skills and character traits play in determining a child's success. The summary consists of an insightful exploration of the effects of childhood trauma on both mental and physical health, followed by a discussion on the relationship between parenting, stress, and children's capacity for impulse control. It delves into the significance of perseverance, conscientiousness, and self-discipline for future achievements and explains the benefits of building students' character through an educational setting.
Traumatic childhood, long-lasting consequences. Childhood trauma can cause persistent behavioral and health problems in adulthood. Adverse Childhood Experience, ACE, questionnaire measures how many traumatic events one experienced. High ACE scores correlate with difficulties in concentration, bullying, and delinquency. Childhood trauma can lead to risky behaviors in adulthood, like smoking and drug abuse. Additionally, it increases the likelihood of ischemic heart disease and chronic illnesses. Thus, good parenting is essential to creating a safe and happy environment for children. The effects of trauma on young minds. Traumatic events can have severe negative impacts on children's lives. The HPA axis is a cerebral trio composed of hypothalamic, pituitary, and adrenal structures. This axis releases hormones in times of stress, which result in a variety of stress reactions. Our body's stress reactions don't differentiate between short-term and long-term stressors, and sustained stress can damage both the body and mind, especially in young people. Chronic stress wears down the prefrontal cortex, resulting in a lack of impulse control, which can lead to high-risk or adverse behaviors. Children are especially vulnerable to stress because it wears down their capacity for impulse control. Attentive and nurturing parenting. Attentive and nurturing parenting can have a significant impact on a child's development. Studies have shown that a mother's attentive behavior and nurturing style can almost entirely compensate for a child's physiological stress factors. This results in a secure attachment between the parents and their children, which is considered the healthiest, most well-adapted attachment. Children with secure attachments tend to be more intrepid and self-reliant, tend to make friends and form social networks, and thus lead more socially competent lives. Parents can utilize interventions or therapy to become more sensitive and attentive to their children, thus creating secure attachments and shielding them from the adverse effects of trauma. So while it's impossible to ensure a completely stress-free environment for children, adopting a sensitive, attentive style of parenting can protect them from its negative impact. Beyond cognitive skills. The idea of cognitive hypothesis, which suggests that cognitive abilities are the key to future success, has gained widespread acceptance among parents. While cognitive skills are important, recent studies reveal that non-cognitive skills like perseverance, curiosity, and self-discipline are also instrumental in shaping a child's future. In fact, non-cognitive skills have proven to be more critical than cognitive skills in determining one's success in work and education. This summary delves into the importance of character in conjunction with cognitive development in securing your child's future. The power of non-cognitive skills. Successful people owe their accomplishment to perseverance, conscientiousness, and self-discipline, three non-cognitive skills that are excellent predictors of future success. Research affirms that grit leads to achievement, even if a student's College Board scores are low. Conscientiousness displays the strongest correlation with success, among all other personality traits, as it drives people forward, both personally and professionally. A child's self-discipline has a more significant impact on success than their IQ score, and it shapes their future, health, finances, and interactions with the law. All three non-cognitive abilities come to play in the face of tempting immediate gratification, exemplified by the iconic marshmallow experiment. Therefore, individuals must cultivate non-cognitive skills to prosper in their lives. Building character in the classroom. In the 1990s, character education programs were introduced in U.S. schools. However, research has shown that the vague nature of these programs did not impact student success. The KIPP Academy, a New York middle school for low-income families, found their own character education program unsuccessful. Psychologist Martin Seligman stepped in and created a list of 7 practical character strengths that included self-regulation and zest. KIPP employed constant advertising and reinforcement of these strengths through message saturation, resulting in an increase in graduation rates. Mistakes and failure also play an important part in children's future success. Affluence and character development. Despite common belief, children of affluent families are not necessarily better off in terms of character development. In fact, wealthy parents' tendency to push for high achievement and overprotectiveness can lead to negative consequences such as substance abuse and low tolerance for failure. These effects can continue into adulthood, impacting career choices. The notion that children of affluent families have an advantage when it comes to character development may not be entirely accurate. Wealthy parents often place their children under a lot of pressure to achieve success, leading to emotional detachment and feelings of shame and hopelessness, which can have negative consequences. Studies show that children from affluent households are more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol, as well as suffer from anxiety and depression. Moreover, affluent parents tend to be overprotective and hover over their children, leaving them with a low tolerance for adversity. This can leave children unable to cope with difficult situations they may face in the future. Interestingly, adults who grew up in such environments carry this fear of failure with them into their careers, often opting for safer options rather than taking risks. In summary, affluence does not necessarily equate to better character development. The pressure to achieve and overprotection can lead to negative outcomes, which can continue into adulthood. The importance of failure. Success at Intermediate School 318 in New York is rooted in the concept of embracing failure. Elizabeth Spiegel, who runs the school's chess program, teaches her students the importance of confronting mistakes and gaining insight from them. This fosters self-control and cognitive flexibility, encouraging students to explore all their options before making a move. Spiegel also emphasizes the value of mistakes, teaching students that losing is an action, not a defining characteristic. This attitude helps children understand that mistakes are assets that aid improvement. Additionally, character-building programs at schools like IS 318 teach children to adopt an optimistic perspective toward mistakes, seeing them as impersonal, specific, and short-term instead of permanent and pervasive. By embracing failure and learning from mistakes, students gain the tools necessary for personal and academic growth beyond the chessboard.
To recap, How Children Succeed reveals the long-lasting impact of childhood trauma on a person's well-being and stresses the importance of attentive, nurturing parenting for safeguarding children from stress. Non-cognitive traits like perseverance, conscientiousness, and self-discipline contribute significantly to future achievements and can be cultivated through targeted character education programs. On the other hand, affluent families may unknowingly harm their children's character development through overprotective parenting and high-performance pressure. The key takeaway from the book is the importance of confronting mistakes, learning from them, and understanding how to separate oneself from them, while simultaneously building a strong character foundation that fosters success in all aspects of life.